Today, we're going deep on Pillar 1, visual identity. This is how your brand looks, your logo, your colors, your typography, and your overall design. It's the first thing people see when they land on your website, find you on Google, or come across your social media. And as business owner, you want the first impression to communicate the right thing immediately. So let's get into it, starting with your logo. Your logo is the face of your business. It's what goes on your website, your social media profiles, your business cards, your invoices, your packaging, everywhere your business shows up visually. And here's the thing, people are seeing your logo constantly, even when they're not actively paying attention to it. Every time they visit your website, every time they see your invoice, every time they scroll past your social media. And through that repeated exposure, they start building an association between that logo and your business. So it's not just a pretty graphic, it's doing silent work in the background every single time it appears. A strong logo builds recognition over time. A weak or inconsistent one just creates confusion. Now, there are three main types of logos, and each one serves a different purpose. Let's go through all three so you can figure out which one actually makes sense for your business. The first type is the Wordmark logo. This is just your business name, designed and styled as the logo itself. No icon, no symbol, just the name. Google is a wordmark. Coca-Cola is a wordmark. FedEx is a wordmark. The idea here is that name itself becomes the visual identity through a specific font, specific colors, and consistent use. The name alone becomes recognizable. This works really well when your business name is short and memorable. And when you want people to learn and remember the name as fast as possible, it's clean, it's simple, and it scales well across different sizes and formats. From a small favicon on a browser tab to a large banner. The downside is that it takes time. You're relying entirely on people learning your name before the logo means anything to them. So if you're just starting out, a watermark alone can feel a bit generic until that recognition starts to build. The second type is the icon mark. And this is what most people picture when they think of a famous logo. It's just simple, no text, no name. Apple's apple, Nike's whoosh, Twitter's bird. When it works, it's incredibly powerful. A single image that instantly communicates your entire brand without a single word. But here's the important part. Those brands spent years and millions building that recognition first. The symbol means something because people already know the company behind it. If you're a small or medium business and you go with just an icon mark, you're betting that people will figure out who you are from a symbol alone. And most of the time, they won't. There's no name to anchor it to. So while icon marks are visually strong, for most business owners, at an early or growth stage, leading with just a symbol is a risk that rarely pays off. The third type is the combination logo. And this is what I recommend for the majority of business owners watching this. It's exactly what it sounds like, a symbol and your business name combined into one logo. You get a visual element that people start to recognize and associate with your brand over time. And you get the name right next to it, so there's no guessing about who you are. It tells people what your business is called while simultaneously giving them a visual symbol to latch onto. And the smart thing about starting with the combination logo is the flexibility it gives you later. As your brand grows and more people start recognizing your symbol on its own, you can start using just the icon in certain places. Your profile picture, your favicon, your app icon, while keeping the full combination for everything else. Most professional brands that have strong visual identities started exactly here. It's the most practical starting point for building a logo that works now and scales as you grow. Now that we cover logos, let's move on to color. And I want to start here because most business owners think about color last, when actually it should be one of the first decisions you make. Color is one of the most powerful tools in your visual identity. And not because it looks nice, but because color communicates before your customer reads a single word. Before they read your headline, before they read your tagline, before they even process your logo properly, they already felt something about your brand based on the color on the screen. Think about it this way. You land on a website and everything is deep navy blue and gold. You immediately get a sense of premium, professionalism, something high-end. You land on another website and it's bright orange and white. It feels energetic, approachable, maybe a bit playful. Nobody told you that, the color did. That's what color branding is. It's the intentional use of specific colors across everything your business puts out. your website, your logo, your social media, your emails, your packaging, so that over time, people start to associate those colors with your business specifically. The goal is that eventually your colors alone start to carry your brand. Before someone reads your name or sees your logo clearly, the color palette is already telling them who you are. So color isn't decoration, it's communication. And the businesses that understand that early are the ones that build recognizable brands faster. So let's get into color psychology, which is basically the study of how different colors affect how people think and feel. And this isn't just theory. This is something that's been studied extensively in consumer behavior and marketing research. The colors you choose for your brand are actively influencing how potential customers perceive you, whether you intend that or not. So let's go through the main ones. Red communicates energy, urgency, and passion. It's a high intensity color that grabs attention fast. That's why we see it used in sales, food brands, and anything that wants to create a sense of excitement or immediacy. Think Coca-Cola, YouTube, Netflix. Blue is probably the most used color in business branding, and for a good reason. It communicates trust, reliability, and professionalism. If you're in finance, tech, healthcare, or any industry where trust is the primary thing you're selling, blue is almost always the right direction. Think Facebook, LinkedIn, PayPal, Samsung. Green communicates nature, health, growth, and sustainability. It's the obvious choice for anything in the wellness, food, or environmental space. But it also works well for finance brands, because we associate green with money and growth. Yellow communicates optimism, warmth, and energy. It's attention grabbing without the aggression of red. It works well as an accent color or for brands that want to feel friendly and approachable. Orange sits between red and yellow. It's energetic and friendly. At the same time, it works well for brands that want to feel bold but approachable. Think Amazon, Fanta, Harley Davidson. Purple has historically been associated with royalty and luxury. In modern branding, it communicates creativity, wisdom, and premium quality. You'll see it used in beauty brands, wellness, and anything positioning itself as a high-end or imaginative. Black communicates premium, authority, and sophistication. It's the go-to for luxury brands. Think Chanel, Apple, Nike, clean, minimal, and powerful. While white communicates simplicity, cleanliness, and clarity. It's rarely used as a primary brand color on its own, but it works incredibly well as a background that lets other brand elements breathe. Now here's the important thing. You're not just picking colors you like. You're picking colors that align with what you want your business to communicate. The feeling your colors create should match the feeling you want customers to have when they interact with your brand. So let's get into color psychology, which is basically the study of how different colors affect how people think and feel. And this isn't just theory. This is something that's been studied extensively in consumer behavior and marketing research. The colors you choose for your brand are actively influencing how potential customers perceive you, whether you intend that or not. So let's go through the main ones. Red communicates energy, urgency, and passion. It's a high intensity color that grabs attention fast. That's why you see it used in sales, food brands, and anything that wants to create a sense of excitement or immediacy. That's why we see it used in sales, food brands, and anything that wants to create a sense of excitement or immediacy. Think Coca-Cola, YouTube, Netflix. Blue is probably the most used color in business branding, and for a good reason. It communicates trust, reliability, and professionalism. If you're in finance, tech, healthcare, or any industry where trust is the primary thing you're selling, blue is almost always the right direction. Think Facebook, LinkedIn, PayPal, Samsung. Green communicates nature, health, growth, and sustainability. It's the obvious choice for anything in the wellness, food, or environmental space. It also works but it also works well for finance brands, because we associate green with money and growth. Yellow communicates optimism, warmth, and energy. It's attention grabbing without the aggression of red. It works well as an accent color or for brands that want to feel friendly and approachable. Orange sits between red and yellow. It's energetic and friendly. At the same time, it works well for brands that want to feel bold but approachable. Think Amazon, Fanta, Harley Davidson. Purple has historically been associated with royalty and luxury. In modern branding, it communicates creativity, wisdom, and premium quality. You'll see it used in beauty brands. You'll see it used in beauty brands, wellness, and anything positioning itself as a high-end or imaginative. Black communicates premium, authority, and sophistication. It's the go-to for luxury brands. Think Chanel, Apple, Nike, clean, minimal, and powerful. While white communicates simplicity, cleanliness, and clarity. It's rarely used as a primary brand color on its own, but it works incredibly well as a background that lets other brand elements breathe. Now here's the important thing. You're not just picking colors you like. You're picking colors that align with what you want your business to communicate. The feeling your colors create should match the feeling you want customers to have when they interact with your brand. Look at these two brands. Same industry, same product category, sports nutrition. But look at how differently they feel just from the colors alone. Peak Fit on the left is using red and black. Before you read a single word, you already feel power, intensity, and aggression. This brand is for people who want to train hard, push limits, perform at high levels. The color is doing that positioning work instantly. While Fit on the right is using green and white. Completely different feeling, natural, clean, balanced, and health focused. This brand is for people who care about what goes into their body, about wellness, about sustainable lifestyle. Same industry, same type of product, completely different customer. And color is the primary thing making that distinction. Now here's the practical lesson for your business. Your color choice is not just a aesthetic decision. It's a positioning decision. You are telling a specific type of customer that your brand is for them. And you're simultaneously telling other customer that it isn't. That's not a bad thing. That's actually the point. Trying to appeal to everyone with your colors usually means you connect with nobody. So before you pick your brand colors, ask yourself, who is my ideal customer? What do they value? And what do they need to feel when they land on my website or see my brand for the first time? The answer to that question should drive your color decision more than personal preference ever should. So now let's actually build your color palette, because this is where most business owners either get it right or create a mess they have to fix later. The first rule is simple: less is more. Most strong brand palettes use 3 to 4 colors maximum. Any more than that, and things start to feel inconsistent and hard to manage across different materials. The second thing is contrast. Your colors need to work together, meaning your background color and your text color need to have enough contrast that things are actually readable. A lot of businesses pick colors that look great as concept, but are completely unreadable in practice. The third thing is test your colors in context. Don't just look at them on a color picker. Put them on a mock website, put them on a social media post, put them on a document. Colors behave differently depending on what's around them and what size they're displayed at. A color that looks great as a large background can look completely different as a small icon. And the last thing, make sure you save your exact color codes. Not just the general color, but the exact hex code. Because the difference between two shades of blue that look almost identical on screen can look completely different when printed or displayed on different devices. Lock in your exact colors from the start. Now let's break down how a brand color palette actually works in practice. And I want to use this website as the example because it makes it immediately clear. You have 3 levels: primary, secondary, and accent. Your primary color is your main brand color. On this website, it's deep blue. It's on the logo, the navigation, the headings, the main button. It's the color that carries the brand. This is what people will start to associate with your business over time, so it needs to show up consistently across everything. Your secondary color is doing structural work. Here it's light gray. It separates sections of the page, creates balance, and gives the primary color something to sit against. It's not trying to grab attention. It's keeping things organized and readable so the primary color can do its job. Your accent color is used sparingly, and that word is important. Here it's orange. Look at where it appears. The top call to action button and the contact button at the bottom. That's it, 2 elements on the entire page. But because everything else is blue and gray, that orange immediately pulls your eye to exactly where the business wants it to go. Primary dominates, secondary supports, accent directs attention. Get that structure right, and your brand will feel intentional and cohesive across every platform you show up on. Next up is typography, the fonts your brand uses. And this matters more than most business owners think because fonts have a personality. A heavy bold font communicates something completely different to a light elegant one, even if the words are identical. Before you pick a font, think about what your brand needs to communicate. There are four main font categories worth knowing. Serif fonts have a small decorative lines at the end of each letter. They communicate tradition, reliability, and professionalism. Think established businesses, finances, legal, editorial. Sans serif fonts are clean and modern with none of those decorative elements. These are the most commonly used in digital branding because they're highly readable on screens and work across almost every industry. Display fonts are decorative and expressive. Strong, bold, attention grabbing, good for headings and logos, but never for body text because they become unreadable at smaller sizes. And script fonts mimic handwriting. They can feel personal and creative, but need to be used carefully because readability drops fast when they're overused. So, for most businesses, the practical rule is simple: two fonts, one heading font, one body font. Look at these two pairings. The first is bold and modern, a heavy heading font paired with a clean, natural body font. Confident, direct, works well for businesses that want to feel strong and contemporary. The second is more elegant, a serif heading paired with a clean body font, more premium, more refined, works well for businesses positioning themselves at the higher end. Notice how different those two combinations feel, even though both are professional. That's typography, doing brand work before anyone reads a single word. Your heading font is where your brand personality comes through. Your body font just needs to be clean and readable. Pick two, stick to them across everything: your website, your graphics, your documents, and your brand will feel consistent and intentional. A design style is how everything ties together: your logo, your colors, your typography, and the overall visual feel of your brand. Look at these three brands, same format, completely different feeling. Lumina on the left is modern and minimal, white space, clean typography, simple icon, soft colors. Before you read a single word, it already communicates calm, clarity, and sophistication. This style works well for tech, wellness, professional services, anything where simplicity signals quality. Velocity in the middle is bold and energetic. High contrast, heavy typography, strong colors, aggressive layout. It immediately communicates speed, intensity, and ambition. This style works well for fitness, entertainment, anything targeting an audience that responds to energy and urgency. Altura on the right is professional and corporate. Dark navy, structured layout, formal typography. Clean, geometric logo. It communicates authority, reliability, and expertise. This style works well for finance, consulting, law, healthcare, industries where trust and credibility are the primary things being sold. The question to ask yourself is simple: what does my ideal customer expect to see when they land on my brand? Because your design style is making a first impression before anyone reads your headline, your services, or your pricing. Make sure it says the right thing. And that's pillar one: visual identity. Your logo, your colors, your typography, and your design style all working together to make your brand instantly recognizable and credible. Next video, we're going to pillar two: consistency. Because none of what we covered today means anything if you're not showing up the same way every time. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you there.